boys and girls, Mrs. Gazewood here. I'm making a video to show you how you might go about setting up your remote learning space at home. The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you have a copy of the remote learning supply list, because it will tell you all the things you need in order to engage at home. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you have an extra large school box. And if you can't find an extra large school box, something like this, a plastic shoe box or some other container that's large will work just as well. So I want you to notice I took all the extra supplies and I put them in a plastic bag so that I have those to use at a later date. But I don't want to lose them, but I only want to put in the things on the list. So first on our list are 5 sharp pencils and 5 eraser caps. We want to make sure we have enough pencils to do our work for the day. You want to make sure you have a large pink eraser for those big erasing jobs. You want to make sure you have a small pencil sharpener so that you can sharpen your pencils when you need to. You'll want to take your markers and empty them out to go loosely into your school box. It just makes them easier to access. You want to do the same with your colored pencils. With your crayons, you're welcome to leave them in the box or pour them out, whatever you prefer. You want to make sure you have a good pair of children's scissors. You want to have a glue stick. You want to have dry erase markers. Now you want to make sure you keep your dry erase markers separate from your other markers, because if you use these on paper, they dry out really fast, and we use them a lot in first grade. You'll be getting a dry erase board when you come to see me. And so what I do to keep my dry erase markers separate from the rest of them is I use an old sock, preferably a clean old sock, but a sock. You might have an extra where the mate has been lost, and you slide your dry erase markers inside, and we'll be using that as an eraser, so it works really well. The other thing you want to make sure you have is a good pair of headphones. The ones that go over your ears work best. And if that fits in your school box, even better. If not, just find a safe place to keep them. There are a few things that you will not want to keep in your school box. Your water bottle. But you want to make sure you have a water bottle that has one of these snap top lids, because that means when you're not drinking it, you can close it tight, and if it gets knocked over, it won't spill on your work or your device or anything else. The white glue you want to keep in a separate place because it can leak if it tips over and it isn't closed tightly. So I like to keep that separate. And my paints, my watercolor paints, I like to keep that in a separate place. Maybe you have a special drawer in the kitchen you can keep those in. And your paint shirt. It needs to be a nice big one so it can cover all your clothes, so when we do some watercolors, you won't get your clothes dirty. This is a very well used one, as you can tell. But you might just find a hook for that somewhere in your house. So once you've got your school box all ready to go, you're going to want to think about how you can organize the materials that you're going to get from me when you come to school to pick them up. So you have a couple of options. You can find an old box to keep your supplies in, or you can choose, if your parents have one of these at home, a hanging file. I really like to use my hanging file. But I'm going to show you how it would work in just an empty cardboard box. You'll be getting some folders that look like this. And each one of them has a color and a subject. And I'll be giving you some things to put in it. And you'll be keeping those at home. You'll also be getting some books. And those books will go in your bin as well, so that you can find them and use them as you need to. But you will file them into your box so that you'll be able to find everything you need when it's time to do a certain activity or project with me and the rest of your classmates. So here's a box. What's nice about this is your learning center becomes mobile. So if your learning center is at your kitchen table, it makes it really easy to, when it's time to clear the table, to just pack it all up and move it out of the way. Now, if you can, I suggest using one of these hanging files, because it makes things so much easier when you're getting things in and out, because you can slide things around. These little hanging files make it easy to get things in and out as you're working. These folders will have all kinds of learning tools and projects inside. So I use this a lot. Last year I used it for teaching. And this year I'll be using it for teaching with you. I'll be modeling it as we work on our projects together. So I'm hoping this helps you find an easy way to store your materials and have it be mobile if you need it to be, if you're working at your kitchen table or something. What's nice is I can fit my school box right in here too. So when it's time to clear the table, I just take it away. All right, I hope to see you soon. Bye.